I'm sure that you've all noticed by now, whether you're in the United States or somewhere else in the world, that the products that we purchase are priced outrageous. Okay. Now, I know this stems from the amount of profits that these corporations want. Okay. So what happens is we either have COVID or some war scare, or we have some kind of emergency with the oil situation. So instantly, within seconds, it drives the price up. Every gas station that is in existence sees an opportunity to raise the price. That infects local business. It infects corporations, shipping, delivering, whatever anyone is doing at the time, right? So we see these outrageous jumps in the price of gasoline, or the price of products that are made with oil, or we see our products going up at the grocery store or department stores, whatever, instantly, within hours or even a few days. So what happened during COVID was all these businesses, whether they're local or national or worldwide, seen an opportunity to raise the price. Not that anything affected it. Yeah, we had some disruptions, right? Whether it was shipping or delivery or what the case. But there was an instant raise between, I think New York Times says that it was 30% in the last few years, right? 30% increase. What happens is these greedy companies, when that price jumps 30%, they don't lower their prices. They do not. Once it's up there, it stays there. And we pay the price, okay? Whether they like to say it's government spending. When COVID hit, government started sending out stimulus checks, all this spending. It's not really the spending, it's the actual stealing, the actual scamming, these companies, shouldn't say companies, that these USAID or whatever these companies that start up, nonprofits, whatever they are, whether they're medical, government food stamp programs, medical programs, they scam them. That's where billions and trillions of dollars go over a period of time. So you're printing more money to supply these scam artists, and you're sending money out directly to these food stamp states, and they don't. I think there's only like 12 or 13 that actually reported their where their money's going. The rest of them are out scamming the system, right? That's why they don't report. If you're not doing, you don't have anything to hide. If you show the actual amount that is going toward your citizens in your state, right? The people that actually need it. The rest is being scammed, whether it's by political officials, their friends or their neighbors or their associates, or foreign governments, or people that are related to a foreign government, whatever. That's where all that money goes. So what happens is these corporations see the inflation spike, right? They don't bring their prices down. Once it's there, it's gone. It's never coming back. I don't care. Gasoline fluctuates here and there, but the states tend to say, hey, you know what? We're not getting enough taxes out of this. I know in my state, they're in a downfall, hundreds of millions of dollars of fixing these roads. So they keep saying, well, we're going to tax marijuana, or we're going to tax, the extra gasoline tax. Or now they're even thinking about taxing the amount of mileage that you put on your vehicle every day or every month, because they're going to blame it on EVs that were supposed to save everything, right? So when these corporations start raising their prices, and you can't really blame it on grocery stores, because they're only making 1% to 3% profit on on their goods that they sell. It's the companies that ship it. It's the areas that grow this, or ranch beef or chicken or whatever, and they see their increase. So you take all of that, whether it's the corporations, whether it's investors, whether it's these micro companies, or national companies like BlackRock and the rest of them, they see an opportunity to buy into this. It's whether it's foreign companies buying agricultural land. It's so many different people with their hands in the pot raising the price, and not one of them are going to bring it back down. So when COVID left, not one of the prices actually diminished, right? And then you have this war going on, whether, I don't know, just, you could be who was it back in the South? I don't know, the warring factions of clans that were family owned. You could be one of them, who knows? But these war goes on. Oh, there's a major disruption in the oil supply, so we got to raise prices. Then everybody else, we got an excuse. That's what happened to COVID. A lot of these people weren't even affected, right? They just raised the prices because it was an opportunity to use that as an excuse. Not that the supplies were crazy, because everybody knew it was going to come back down, but the prices didn't come back down. Now, I noticed in the last few months, I purchased a set of tires 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. And then I went back and I wanted to purchase the same set of tires for a different vehicle. In that 4-month span, it went up $100 for the same 4 sets, same tire. They were in the same building. They're the same stock. They didn't all of a sudden manufacture these tires in the last few months. They were sitting on the shelf, or sitting in the distributor, or sitting so they had seen an opportunity to raise the price. And asphalt, roofing shingles are all related to, plastic bags and any kind of rubber or anything that's made with toothbrushes. I don't care. Everything's made with oil, right? Tennis shoes, everything goes up. And then the consumer is the one to pay the price. Do you think that your income earned has went up 20 to 30% in the last 5 years? I don't think so. And it just keeps going up. And the demand doesn't go down, because everybody needs to eat. You're eating less nutrition because you have to supply the same amount to your family, right? They have to eat. So you're feeding them more garbage because it's cheaper. And you can't, beef. I buy, every once in a while, I'll go out and buy a beef that something I want. And I'm looking and I said, just a month ago, this same product was $2 or $3 cheaper. And I kind of watch this from now on. I went to Costco and I bought some ribeyes yesterday, in fact. And when I buy beef, I don't get a lot of ribeyes, mostly Hamburg. If I buy the half a cow, it's mostly ground beef, right? You do get some different steaks in there you want. You get some stew meat, but you don't get like the premium stuff. The whole cow is not a premium ribeye, right? So I went to Costco and I bought this, and I said, it was, it was like 4 pounds of ribeyes. They were quite thick. So I got home and I said, I'm going to weigh this out on my scale. It was a pound less than they were selling that, saying on the package printout, it was a pound less than that. And after I ripped into it and got it home, what are you going to do? You can't run it back. So next time that you go to the store, take their scale and weigh it and make sure that it is what it says on the packaging, and then take it up to the beef counter and say, can you weigh this for me? And to see if his scale matches the scale on, the aisle. A lot of the vegetable aisles, they have their own scales, right? So you can weigh whatever and see how much it is. But, you know, I know a lot of like chicken, some beef and hamburger are all frozen when they get to the grocery store. So they thaw out, they thaw out when they measure them at the time of packaging. By the time that you get it, I doubt that a lot of that is, the moisture has dissipated over a period of time. But I just don't, there's no way to stop it. It's greed. The only way you're going to stop it is eventually people aren't going to have enough money to buy what they need, right? And for whatever reason, people are consuming less of quality foods. They're probably buying less, clothing or material goods. And so the companies, they keep pushing out more, right, for these expensive things, but people can't afford these. And what's going to happen eventually is people are just not going to buy it anymore. It's just going to be outrageous. And you see a lot of people extending the shoe life or the clothing life. I know I'm not a big consumer of all these products. I'm not a person that goes out and every time there's a new phone I buy it, or a new clothing style I buy it, or a new gadget that I buy. I don't do any of that. Things that I have, like computer, I build my own computer. Last one I built was 5 years ago. I upgraded it, but I'm not going to go out and buy a computer that's already built every year because, NVIDIA built a new chip that makes it faster. It's not, unless you're in that type of field and you need something quicker, sure, you can look at the expense and justify it because that's the way your business is. But let me know in the comments if you guys find the same situation going on. Are you purchasing about the same, or have you purchased less? Have you noticed a lot of your goods increasing exponentially over the last few months or even the last couple years? I know I have. I remember years ago when I built a house, I could buy a piece of plywood for, $2.39. Now it's $15. And that's just one, a basic piece of lumber has went up, probably 300-400%. It's just everything. I remember I used to buy this caulk all the time. It was great. I still do. But it was $1.39. And now it's like $12, $13 for the same tube, same ingredients, nothing changed. Same label, everything else. And I'm sure the manufacturer has to pay for more product to, mix into the ingredients or whatever to get out his product that's been the same for the last 30, 40 years. But yeah, so let me know. You guys like, subscribe, appreciate it. Helps grow this channel. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye now.